And now for our final and I think the most important thing to remember when it comes to the StarCraft Solo. Hi everyone, I'm Hagen with Minecraft Source, and today we will be going over the top 5 biggest mistakes that you can make as a beginner using the StarCraft Solo. Starting with the smallest of these 5 mistakes, we're going to go with having too much of your blade exposed. Time and time again, I have heard of people having their blade way too far out of this right here. So as you can see, mine's not poking out far at all. You might not even be able to see it. If the blade's poking out enough that you can see it without having to get real close or, tilt it at all, you probably have it out too far. The reason you don't want it poking out so much is it can cut through your mat, it can cut all the way through the paper backing or the contact paper of your vinyl. It's just all around not a good time. So don't do it. Make sure you've tested with some scrap stuff as much as you can so that you don't end up cutting through. Next on our list, we have using all 3 rollers when using a mat. So let me bring out my example. Oh God, where's it at? With this right here, you're gonna see this crazy indented line. That is what happens whenever you have all 3 rollers on your mat. If you're gonna use all 3 rollers, make sure you're only doing it with vinyl. No mat, nothing like that. If you're using the mat, make sure you're using your 2 rollers as far as they can get while they're still touching the mat. This can go away now. For our third most important mistake to avoid, you wanna make sure that you are not changing your settings in both the Solo and the Create software. Choose one and stick with it. In the Create software, whenever you go to actually cut your vinyl and click the Create button, there's a little checkbox right here that says Use Software Speed and Force. If you have that checked, your force and speed are going to be the ones that you have changed in the software. It's not going to be the ones that you have changed in the machine. Pick one, stick with it. So yeah, once you have your settings honed in, just make sure you have that box ticked or not ticked, depending on if you want to use the machine or the software itself. On to the next one. Number 4 on our list of mistakes to avoid is you want to make sure that the mat is all the way up in the Solo. In Cricut and Silhouette products, you stick the mat to the rollers and then you press a load button. The Solo's not like that. You have to manually load your mat all the way up through the Solo and line up your edge with the little notched line that is built onto the Solo itself. Just make sure you're doing that every time. It will help tremendously, and it's honestly really hard to forget once you get there. And now for our final and I think the most important thing to remember when it comes to the StarCraft Solo, save your preset every time. If you don't, it's setting you up for failure. Not failure necessarily, but you get the gist. Whenever you have your presets saved, it makes it so much easier to hop back in and cut the same vinyl over and over with no hitches and problems. The way to save your presets is in the Create software. Whenever you have your settings honed in, you are going to click the plus button next to preset, and there you can name it and tick the boxes for which settings you want to apply to. At that point, you can go ahead and click OK, and then your new preset is saved and you can use it every single time. No problem. It's so easy. And those, ladies and gentlemen, are my top 5 biggest mistakes that every beginner makes with the StarCraft Solo. I made them, everyone here has made them, but maybe you won't make them. That's what this video is for. Well, yeah, cool. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and be sure to ring the little bell so you get our notifications. Our most recent video should be down in this corner, and I highly recommend watching it. Thank you.